Well, welcome back to the shed, and another rare bird here, a Goodsell educational cassette recorder. It only plays in mono, despite the fact that the head is actually stereo, but it's wired for mono. But it's built like a tank, and it appears that it's almost handmade within. It certainly has that look about it. But you've got all kinds of connections on there. Tape play, and the number of teachers I remember at school who forgot to press that and were baffled when no sound came out. And then you've got auxiliary input, external microphone, internal microphone, which is here, and then an automatic or manual record level done on this knob here. And the old gauge from the older sets has been carried over to this design. These units were made over in Brighton, which isn't very far away from me, about 40 miles I suppose, something like that. As you can see, it doesn't quite know whether it's a PA amplifier or cassette recorder or something a pop group would use or whatever, complete with a great big chunky off-on switch and kettle lead main plug. Now, when I got this, it didn't work, of course. It was chucked my way by a school caretaker friend who said that they were having a bit of a clear out, and he'd found these old Goodsell things, and the funny thing is, you don't see much about them on the interweb. Goodsell, there's almost nothing there at all. You do get the odd mention of record players, but that's about it really, and the occasional one of reel-to-reel machines. But the cassette decks and radio combinations made later, no. I'd imagine this dates from probably the early 80s, looking at it, because the mechanism is servo-assisted. I've had to sort that out, only to a degree, just do the belts, fit a new head and line it up, clean everything out, and away it went. Funny thing is, I've heard that music somewhere before, and I can't think where. It was a long time ago, and it wasn't round here. I know that much. That narrows it down, doesn't it? Not. Now, if we turn this round, you can see what I mean about it being a handmade sort of appearance. All built on this very heavy steel frame, which is actually stiffer than it looks. The circuit board, I think they probably made themselves. It's got quite a few Phillips components on it. Tape drive is here, complete with the usual sort of motor where you can adjust the speed in there. Proper, nice quality mains transformer, and really, what's not to like? And so there we have it. Another thing to notice is that Goodsell gear came with two-way speakers by this time. Coomber at first only made them with one-way speakers mostly, and they didn't sound quite as bright. I remember at school these Goodsell machines always had that bit of an extra nice sound. I remember putting a tweeter in one in woodwork class many years ago in a Coomber, and it transformed the sound. It was really nice and crisp treble. There's an 8-inch woofer, which isn't even a long throw thing, but it's got a rubberized cone surround. It's been done with latex. And then this little Sony tweeter here. And as you can see, the foam front is doing the usual thing. It's just about beginning to turn to gingerbread. So it may be, I think, that I end up making a new box for this and putting a new speaker grill on and so forth. Well, I tell you what, that EU referendum, that's brought out the worst in a lot of people, isn't it? God dear. I can't help thinking that all the doom and gloom mongers may be wrong, because we did, after all, have some rather good engineering firms and so on in the past. English Electric, Metropolitan Vickers. We still make Rolls-Royce jet engines, after all. So hopefully we can start doing more of this sort of thing and become a country that makes things once again. Oh well, never mind. I often think it's a shame that the people on the ground can't run the country. You know, the people in the street. They'd make a better job of it than these bloody politicians, wouldn't they? All aboard the gravy train, next stop Brussels, or whatever, or Westminster, or, well, you name it. Anyway, see you soon on that cynical note.